Hey everybody, so this is just another update, and I actually streamed something this morning, and I was just streaming it to Twitch. So I made kind of a mistake, but it was kind of a good thing. I went over an hour, and I can only restream to my other destinations with a recording if it's under an hour. So I was gonna have to go and like edit part of it out. I went and I looked, and that first live stream is like a complete mess. So before you go and watch that, I want to say a couple of things. So that live stream is a perfect example of the sabotage that's been going on for my accounts. So if you look at the live stream, at part of it, it is showing that, okay, so I'm talking, right, and I'm outside. I'm on my phone. So I'm talking, and then a little bit, like a few minutes in, I do an overlay of two pictures. So I am all it's just like the worst quality you can possibly imagine. I'm all like pixelated. The audio is completely out of sync. Notice this. Now I've said that I'm live streaming with my glasses on because I have a high prescription and these are not low index lenses, and it's harder to fake reflections, right? So pay attention in that live stream about where it looks super fuzzy over my glasses, specifically. And then about 3 minutes, I think it's 59 seconds, it blacks out and comes back on. And then it's clear, but okay. So this is my Google Pixel phone, my Google Pixel that this is happening on, that they've hacked through a corrupted operating system that I downloaded after I reformatted my phone on August 5th. And these are jacked apps that are coming through the App Store. So when you see those photos, that's a Google Pixel. It's a Google Pixel. And this is on an Android operating system on a camera that is coming through Google. So all that crap, that's Google stuff. So think about that before you buy a Pixel. Okay, so there's that. So again, I'm streaming this to Twitch, and then this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to restream this one first to my other platforms. So I'm hoping everybody watches this one first. The other one that I did this morning, I'm going to have to go and cut out 6 minutes at the end, probably 7 minutes, to get it under an hour so I can restream it. But then you can see what I'm talking about. Look at that, and that is a perfect example of the type of sabotage that's going on. The first part, especially, the audio is way out of sync. There's a part it's just the irony of this. The irony of this. Pay attention to the parts that they try to cut the feed and mute things out. At one point at like 8 minutes, the whole screen is pixelated. So here's the thing, StreamYard, if you happen to watch this, any of these, this is what somebody is doing to your platform, okay? And so I have sent emails before to support in the past year because I've used StreamYard for a long time, and I said, I'm having these issues, blah, blah, blah. I've tried different things, cleared out stuff on my computer and everything. And the whole thing about StreamYard is that you don't have to have a high rent laptop or computer to be able to use it. All the heavy lifting is done through the platform. But I was having a lot of problems, and I think the reason is it didn't have anything to do with StreamYard or my computer. It had to do with people trying to sabotage what I was putting out. This has been going on long before I started, calling out, sock puppets are part of a criminal syndicate. And this happened way before. So StreamYard, I would like maybe investigate that. The other thing too, I've just decided, that there's people that just doing like little parts and think that they're not going to be held to account. So right now I'm doing this on my iPad. And why am I doing it on my iPad? Like I said, I had issues with my other computer that was older. I knew I was being hacked, and so I ordered it just went out. And so I ordered a refurbished laptop from Technobility in North Carolina through Newegg. I usually buy refurbished computers. I mean, some people think that's lame, whatever. I have always been, looking for a deal. You can get more as refurbished than you can if you just buy new. And quite frankly, I don't get kicks out of having the latest, most expensive thing. Just never been me. Okay, so if that's you, more power to you. It's just not me. So besides that, even if I were going to spend something new, I certainly wasn't going to do it at the time when I know that my devices are being hacked and haven't figured out, where the access is coming in. Not going to spend a whole bunch of money to get, messed up. So I've gotten stuff off Newegg multiple times. The one time I had a problem before, it wasn't working, and I just returned it and they sent me a new one. So when this one came, this refurbished laptop from Technobility in North Carolina through Newegg, when it came, I'm going to say this again, and just FYI, Technobility in North Carolina, I'm going to be saying this in every single stream. So when it came, it had 2 hard drives. One of them wasn't functioning. Called the guy. He said, "Oh yeah, I remember that one because it had 2 hard drives. I sent that one out." And I said, "Well, this doesn't work, and I want to get like a solid state drive, So he was going to give me a credit for having to replace that second hard drive. Never got a credit through Newegg. So then things are happening, and it seems like I'm hacked like immediately. And I'm thinking, was this compromised when I got it? I don't know. So that's kind of what it seemed like to me. And then a couple weeks ago, I was working on it, and I have a video of this where it just kind of is all, it's the screen goes messy and then it just shuts off and won't turn on. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And so I reported it. I said, you know what? I think this came compromised, and this is the company I got it from. The next morning, it turned on, no problem. Well, I haven't gotten contacted by anybody. So this is the same thing that happened when I called the FBI back in April. They did nothing. I told them, there's threats, there's cyber stalking. They did nothing. And then after that, about a week after that, when the criminals knew that the FBI was not going to do squat, they went to town on pretty much every device I had because they knew that the FBI wasn't going to do anything. And so they could. So it kind of seems like this is the same thing. Like, this is what it seems like to me based on what's been happening. That once it seemed like, oh, the authorities aren't going to respond, guess what? Then last week, this just turns off and it won't turn on. I have a video of this, and it just will not turn on. So here's the thing. This is what I've said, and I've said this multiple times. Every delay, every obstacle that comes up, more and more gets exposed. More and more gets exposed. More revelation, more exposure. And if I hadn't, my mom was, we have this laptop they haven't used since, I think, 2020. If I hadn't actually gone on that laptop, there were things I wouldn't have known. And I think her laptop has been hacked. Or actually, I do. They would sabotage that too. Do I know the full story behind that? No, I don't. But I think that it was. I wouldn't have known that if this Dell laptop that I got from Technobility in North Carolina through Newegg, if it hadn't gone out. So I have been trying to update my mom's laptop. It's just, I don't even know what's going on with it. It's really weird. And so the other weird thing about her laptop is that the drives just aren't, like the USBs don't access drives, or it says that there's nothing on the drives when I know that there is. So I thought, this morning, I'm just going to see if this turns on, right? And lo and behold, it does. It does turn on. So I've already pulled the second hard drive out of this. I do have to say, on this Dell laptop, one of the things I really like about this, it's like the design. I love it because it is like, I just have to show you this because it's a pet peeve of mine. Like in the back, you can just like pull out the battery. It's like so easy to access it. The last one I had before this was a Hewlett Packard, and you literally had to tear apart the entire laptop just to replace the battery. It was super, super annoying. So love the design of this. I don't know. I mean, this is a little bit older because again, it was refurbished, but I hope that they still make it that accessible and easy to replace batteries, because you should not have to, you know, they shouldn't be, laptops shouldn't be like paper plates. They shouldn't be. It's functional obsolescence. I mean, like this planned obsolescence. They make it so you have to like replace it sooner than you would want to. So anyway, turn it on, it comes on again. I'm like, you know what? You guys are a bunch of putzes. So here's the thing. This is a message specifically for Tech Mobility of North Carolina in Newegg. Okay, authorities have your name. You may not think that anybody's listening to me, but let's just consider this for a minute. That is like literally what people are trying to tell, nobody's listening to you, nobody's listening to you, nobody's listening to you. Really? Well, if that's the case, and you are complete and utter losers and complete idiots, if you're spending this much time just like literally like clinging to every single thing I said, like creepy obsessive stalkers, if really nobody's listening to me. If nobody's listening to me, then what the hell are you afraid of? Why are you even spending time trying to sabotage my stuff if nobody's listening to me? Right? You know, people that I don't care about that aren't really important. I don't spend time looking to see what they're doing every day. I don't. I'm focused on my own business. So I'm not all up in theirs. That's the reality. So here's the thing. Tech Mobility of North Carolina that I ordered from through Newegg. I'm going to say your name every single time I do a live stream, because this is affecting how I can get things done. Okay? And just for informational purposes, not only was there a bad hard drive on this, but the audio jack worked with headphones, but not with the microphone. And then it changed to where there's no audio input whatsoever. So it would be very convenient to be able to do these live streams on a laptop that I have, but I can't because there's no audio input on this laptop that I got through Tech Mobility of North Carolina through Newegg. So here's the thing. I'm going to mention this laptop every single time, and I'm going to let people know whether it's working, whether it's not. Now, the thing is, this is just a little biblical Hebrew lesson for you. There's a word called mishpat in Hebrew, and it can either be translated as justice or judgment, and it really depends on the context of the passage. And what that means is God's justice it just is. How you experience it depends on which side of God's righteousness that you fall. So if you are following his will, you will experience justice. If you are going against his will, you will experience judgment. So Tech Mobility of North Carolina, that I purchased this laptop through Newegg, I'm not sending this back because this is evidence. That's what this is called. I'm keeping it in my possession. So these are my thoughts. Since I'm going to be mentioning Tech Mobility of North Carolina, that I purchased this laptop through Newegg every single time, my thought is that it would probably be a good idea that if there is any way to access my laptop, which there appears to be, then it might be wise for you to be like the sentinel of my laptop to make sure there's not unauthorized access, because it's going to, the first step in anybody investigating it will be to you, Tech Mobility of North Carolina, that I bought this through Newegg. So if I have a problem, that logically would be the first place someone would start investigating, wouldn't it? But if it's working well, then that's to your benefit. So basically, how I'm experiencing this laptop that I bought through Tech Mobility of North Carolina through Newegg, that is going to be a reflection on your reputation as a company. So what is that going to be? Is that going to be for the good, or is that going to be for the bad? You decide. It's your decision. So here's the other thing. There's a lot of companies that I am using their services that the hackers are exploiting and using. For example, like I said, this is a Google Pixel, which they have completely screwed with. My service is Metro PCS, which is on the T-Mobile network. So T-Mobile, Metro PCS, is this acceptable to you? Is it acceptable to you that hackers are hacking my device and are basically controlling access, are inserting corrupted programs? Is that acceptable? So either, this is the thing about things like this, either like Google and T-Mobile and some of these other companies, if you don't do anything about it, you're complicit, right? Because obviously you're okay about it with it. So if somebody is abusing, like say that there's somebody on the take in your company and that's allowing access like this, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Just curious. So this is what I'm going to start to do. Obviously, this is the thing. I'm starting to move things off. They're hacking through my Google account and Gmail. They are. I have corrupted versions on this Google Pixel through, I don't know, if the Play Store or just the apps. I don't know. They've edited photos in Google Photos. And I've seen manipulated search results in Google Chrome. So Google, are you okay with that? Or are there people that are on the take misusing your system? So either you're complicit or there are people in your organization that needed to be ferreted out and held to account. So what are you going to do about it? Same thing with Amazon. I mean, there are, as I said earlier, there are ISBNs that are basically redirected to what looks like syndicate books and publications. So if somebody goes to, I don't know how exactly that works, but it's very obvious that there's redirection of royalties going on. So Amazon, are you complicit, or are you going to acknowledge that it's going on and ferret it out and do something about it? That's the question. So anyway, I'm not going to leave this. I wasn't intending to do this because I have other things to do, trust me. But so when I saw that just horrendous stream for this morning, what the quality was, I couldn't really tell because it was, I was doing it on my phone, just over my data. And so, like I said, it was not the stream, because if it was the stream, then those image overlays that I had, those would have also been corrupted. It was my connection through the T-Mobile network on my Google Pixel phone, a camera. So it's one of those things. So either, there's a corruption and it's a corrupted app that's crappy quality or something. I don't know what it is. But anyway, so I'm streaming this to Twitch, and then I'm going to restream this one first to my other platforms, and then I'm going to restream the live stream that I did this morning. So watch that and notice, see if there's anything else. I haven't even watched the whole thing. See if there's anything else that stands out to you that's you're like, oh, yeah. So like I said in the live stream, the tell is always in the response, and this totally is. I mean, it's really bad. I mean, I did record it, but it looks totally fake. It looks like the most janky AI dupe you could possibly imagine. It totally, really, really bad. So anyway, but I did record it. And what I'm going to have to do is cut off the end. If you want to go see the whole thing, you can go on you can go on Twitch. I think you can download them. I don't know. I stream to Twitch, but I don't really use it. So I don't know what you can do on it. But if you want to see the whole thing, then you can go there. And like I asked, this probably isn't going to come through. My social media platforms are jacked. My Facebook account was hijacked on August 5th. I did get a couple of live streams through because it was still authorized on my StreamYard account to my personal account. But then between 2 and 4 o'clock on August 13th, because I had to sign in. See, the whole thing is Google. The whole thing is Google. But I had to sign in, an authorized sign in on Google for StreamYard, which I think is how they access StreamYard, and they deleted my personal Facebook account destination, and then they reauthorized it on the Doppelganger account that they moved all my stuff to. So if you've seen, I've said this before, if you've seen any interaction from me on Facebook after August 4th, then that wasn't me. And please report it. And if you want to help out, I do have a GoFundMe up. And again, I have to go back and look at it, but help there. But also, this is the thing. I would say like, comment, subscribe. Do it and see if it sticks, because this is a reality. My engagement is being wiped. The views are being wiped. So if you go to one of my videos on wherever you're seeing it, and you make a note of, like, before you watch it, how many views it says it has in the engagement. So write that if you want to help. I mean, I'm not saying you have to do this, but if you want to help, write down the amount of engagement, take a screenshot, and then if you watch it and engage on it, like comment or like it, take a screenshot of that and make a note to see if it like increases. And if you subscribe and then you get unsubscribe, make a note, because like I'm saying, I know that they wipe my own engagement on it. Not only from like if I like my videos, like even like liking people's comments on there. And that's one of the things I did say, I think towards the end of the live stream, thank you to people who have watched and engaged with it. And if you think I'm not responding, it may have been that I didn't see the engagement or the comments. I know that I'm not getting notifications when people reply on Twitter and engage with it, and with my stuff, because there's manipulation on Twitter too. So anyway, yeah. So if you could do that, that would be great. Also, if you want to share any of this, feel free to like download and like share bits like on your platforms, because they're totally jacking mine, but I mean, they can't jack everybody's, right? So, and I have been trying to upload some things to TikTok, but yeah, they've been messing with my laptop. It's just, I think even on my TikTok account, things have been messed with, because I think I mentioned it's not everything's on there, and there were some videos that were hidden and things. So anyway, hopefully the stream to Twitch okay, so it's a decent stream. You can tell that this is actually me. It's still Wednesday, August 21st. I just yeah. So anyway, that's where it's at. Yeah, and this is the thing. I'm not joking. I'm not joking when I say every single thing they do is they just expose themselves more and more. And I do want to say this again. I know that there are people who know what's going on, but they're just sitting back and watching. If you just sit back and watch, you're complicit. And I can look at things and I can say, okay, this is what I think is going on, but I'm not on the inside. And so I don't have actual confirmation of it. And don't use an excuse, well, I signed an NDA, as an excuse to not say anything and report illegal activity. I'm not an attorney. Don't pretend to be one on Twitter. But my understanding is that NDAs are not. They don't cover illegal acts. And also from what I've read on whistleblower sites, again, not an attorney, and I don't pretend to be one on Twitter. When NDAs are so broad and expansive, then actually they're not enforceable. Okay, so if you have seen things that are illegal, you haven't done something about it by just dropping me hints, so I'll go look into it. Okay, you're the one that saw it. You're the one that's accountable to go do something about it. Just saying. You try to get me to go and investigate. That doesn't. You're not off the hook. You're not off the hook. You need to go and report it. So anyway, that's my little update. I did do that live stream. It's completely sabotaged. It's an over the top sabotage. You have to go watch it. Like how bad it is. And just a reminder, that stream was done on a Google Pixel. Yeah, I have notifications coming through. It was on a Google Pixel. It was on a Google Pixel. So that Google Pixel. Anyway, hope you have a great day.